Wiggle House is an available name on Instagram.
Open your mouth, prepare your tongue, because you're about to get a taste.
I cannot believe we've gone 12 episodes without me being able to talk about Final Fantasy.
Well, I know the doll is bad, so I gotta think the Dusty Balloon is less bad.
I mean, if all life everywhere ends, what have I lost?
Facial hair as a theme is not something I ever would have chosen.
So yeah, that's the one that Rock is just sweaty the whole time.
He's got that good pointy Jafar beard.
I've got 3 pages of AMA citations.
This is the Debate This podcast. Hello and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this podcast, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comics, video games, and how delaying the Sonic movie to improve the design of Sonic isn't going to rewrite all of the bad jokes they've already filled the movie with.
Wow, that's such a good statement. Man, I'd retweet that.
Still burning the poor Sonic movie. Hasn't it already had enough?
Stop, it's already dead.
It's the teeth, though. Like, the teeth is the issue, right?
Yeah.
Not the bad jokes.
The teeth is one of the issues, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of many.
The weird feet.
I didn't realize how much it bothered me that the eyes weren't connected until someone posted a picture of like the drawn in section between the eyes, and then I realized that was a huge problem for me. Yeah. So I'm gonna need them to animate those eyes together.
Yeah.
Stat.
Whatever they do, half the public is gonna hate it. Like,
yes,
they've started from negatives and will not be able to climb into the positives with this movie.
What they need to do is
so sorry.
They need to go the other direction and just Mario Bros. Movie it out and make it just the worst fucking thing of all time. Like, instead of a CG hedgehog, it's just like a kid in a blue tracksuit.
Just paint Peter Dinklage blue and put him on roller skates.
Oh no, that's terrible.
He has Academy Awards.
The movie would make tons of money.
It would make a lot of money.
So I'm joined today by Todd Hercules Thomas, Matt Ice Cole, and Andrew Pumbaa Henderson.
That's cute. That's cute that you did that.
I was gonna say I love that Andrew's pet is Pumbaa. You wanna tell everyone who Pumbaa is, Andrew?
I don't have a pet, so that is the horse that my wife half leases.
Andrew is incapable of love, so
I have nothing will ever warm this cold dead heart.
So we're gonna talk about our pets today, guys. Don't we all love our pets?
I mostly sometimes love my pet.
I love my pet a lot, but Matt Ice Cole was definitely my nickname when I played lacrosse, and they called me Matty Ice. So I'm embarrassed.
Oh no, this isn't the direction I wanted this banter to take.
So your summer variation is Matter Day?
Yeah, it is now.
Oh, I hate this. So our pets are all great. But we're gonna go and get new, more interesting pets. Because let's face it, our pets are cool, but they don't breathe fire or float around in a cloud or do any of that cool things. We're gonna go to a great pet store I found in the Mushroom Kingdom.
What's the pet store called?
It's called Shut Up Todd.
Wow, that branding is phenomenal.
Isn't it? Isn't it the best? It's Shut Up Todd Pet Store. And what they do at Shut Up Todd Pet Store is they take all the creatures that Mario has stomped on or hit with shells or thrown fire at. Basically any creature that's taken harm in the service of Bowser and rehabilitated them into loving household pets.
I like that it's a humane society. That's so fun.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's very sweet.
It's always good to get a rescue.
Yes.
Adopt, don't shop.
Exactly, Matt. We're here to spread the word. So, guys, let's kick it off with Todd. Todd, what former Mario villain are you gonna take home today as a pet, and why?
I hope everybody heard those air quotes.
Yeah,
those were very loud air quotes, and I'm sure everybody heard them.
Yeah, so when you think of old Mario enemies, the one that you want to like find and kind of make your own and like pal around with for a while, I think the top of the list is going to be Lakitu, the good cloud floaty boy. He would make a perfect pet. And so, to give you a little bit of context, my Lakitu is going to have the name Suhan, which, Suhan.
Okay.
No, so.
What was wrong
per
with
the Mario-
Lakitu?
No, per the Mario Wiki.
Oh no.
So, yeah,
Oh, no.
the first of many. So, Suhan is a throwback to what is part of Lakitu's name when translated in Korean, which is roughly translated to never-ending life turtle. So, yeah. So there you go. So me and Suhan are going to do dope shit. Like, we're going to go fishing, and we're going to float, and we're going to volunteer with the local first responders as a form of, like, para-rescue that pulls vehicles out of ravines and such.
I love doing that with my pet as well. That's my favorite weekend activity.
Well, and since I'm such a good pet owner, Suhan is going to have their own social media presence, and that Instagram name is going to be Float House. And you're wondering why it's Float House. It's because my Lakitu, he's a floaty boy who kind of looks like Milhouse from The Simpsons.
Oh my god.
Float house sounds like a trendy float spa.
It does.
It's also that. It's a lot of things, I think.
All right. Matt.
Wait, no. Absolutely not. I have to poke some holes in the things
There's no holes to poke in Float House.
We can't let this just sit here.
Leave
right.
never-ending life turtle alone.
First off, you're not gonna get the Instagram handle at Float House. That is exactly like Andrew said, a medical and health center.
All right. Well, I can spell it like the German way, like Haus.
Float
House.
House.
You'll have to be XXX Float House 999XXX.
Okay.
Yes,
well, Gyarados
exactly
Jim
that.
is gonna give up that Instagram, and then I'm taking this one.
No, but my real problem here is like, so there are plenty of Mario enemies and villains that like I definitely view as pet materials or as animals, but Lakitus seem kind of like comics to me and seem like sentient other races and not animals to be domesticated.
Yeah, this is borderline just slavery.
I agree, it's borderline slavery.
You're making a human
Serving
slave.
as the referees in Mario Kart really like humanizes them.
Yeah,
and
they're the
not
cameramen.
quite animals anymore.
Well, they have all human features. Like they wear glasses. They have corrective lenses.
Yeah.
Like animals.
Okay.
Hey Todd, do animals wear glasses?
When it comes for comedic value or for adorableness, yes, and I think that is what those glasses are doing. With
Exactly.
Lakitu.
Animals don't need to correct their vision because their brains don't interpret visual stimuli like that.
They're more like goggles, and I bet right now if you Google or even search on Instagram puppies with goggles, you're gonna find a fuck ton of puppies with goggles. You're gonna be like, oh, those are cute and not functional. Maybe they're not functional on Lakitu either. Also, pigs are the third most intelligent animal on Earth, and we eat them.
Oh man.
Okay, but we're not talking about eating Lakitus.
I
We're
know.
talking
It's
about
a step.
good
it's
argument,
the step
Todd.
under. Not eating them. We're training them to be buddies.
There are so many stock photos with dogs with goggles.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are. That seems like a category on Getty Images.
Yep. It is.
I'm just saying, Float House and I, we're palling, which I checked out the German spelling of house, and that person has like 49 followers. So I'm just going to buy that account from him. And then I'm going to give it to Float House.
All right.
Well, let's move on from this probably legitimate crime and hear what Matt is going to take home from Shut Up Todd Animal Store. Wow,
Sure.
I can't talk.
So I have always played Mario games and thought of enemies as just things that got in the way. Never really considered enemies to be anything other than hurdles or roadblocks until Super Mario Sunshine, and I got to stand on the beach and see a really adorable but really angry Wiggler wobble all over the beach. And I fell in love with him. Wiggler is the best pet, and that's what I'm gonna have. They're cute little caterpillars, and they're very docile and friendly. They've always got those smiles on their faces.
Never angry ever.
Never
As
ever
long
angry.
as you don't bop their flowers. And there are tons of animals. Listen, there are tons of animals that are totally cool and normal unless you stomp on their foreheads, and then of course they're gonna get angry. If you stomp on the forehead of a dog, it's going to get really mad. So you're not going to stomp on the forehead of my Wiggler, and he's not going to get mad. It's not going to cause a problem. Also, let's talk about baby animals for a second. And did you know that the baby version of a Wiggler is called a squiggler? And that's adorable. That's a great name for a baby animal. So I have a baby animal that's cute. I have a regular animal that's cute, and only definitely gets angry at times. Other animals would get angry. Definitely doesn't bull rush people ever. That doesn't happen. They're great. They're adorable.
No, animals have never snapped at people ever.
Yeah.
Matt, how cool is your landlord gonna be with you keeping like an 8-foot long worm in your apartment?
Well, they're not 8 feet long in like every game. Some of the games they're little. Like, what if I had a Super Mario Odyssey Wiggler?
What an argument.
Kyle, they grow to the size of their tank like a goldfish. It's fine.
Oh, okay. So they'll only fill one room in his apartment.
I have a snake at home, and they only grow as much as you feed them. So we're just gonna we're gonna feed this Wiggler to sustain, not to grow. It's great. I think Wigglers are basically reptile caterpillars.
Now I would like to quickly address this anger issue because, granted, yes, you're never going to purposely stomp on an animal. You're not a monster. But how many of us, who among us, has at one point in their life had a cat or a dog stand right between their fucking heels, and then the minute you like shuffle, you step on a tail or you step on a thing, and you hear ah. That was a generic squeal from either a cat or a dog. I didn't want to.
Can you
make
do that
cat
one
a
more
dog.
time? I need a new text message sound.
You can get it in the recording. My point is, you're not gonna purposely stomp on that Wiggler, but I guarantee you that
In
at
the
least
middle
at
of the
one
night.
point in the middle of the night,
When you gotta pee.
Yep, you can't see anything. You're gonna and all it takes is one. All it takes is one, and then you can't touch it anymore. It becomes molten magma. It starts steaming all around. It's gonna melt the floorboards of your house. That thing is
Okay,
gonna
I don't know if they have
Okay,
that power. That's not a real thing.
No, that's not a real thing.
What I am gonna say though is, and you know, maybe Andrew will blow this argument out of the water if he has a pet that is cool with being jumped on. Matt, your pet is obviously not being cool with being jumped on. Only bad things happen. With Lakitu, you jump on Lakitu's head, and Lakitu's like, "Ooh, my
dies.
bad. Here, take my cloud."
because he
because
dies.
he
You get a
dies.
sweet ride.
Because you
No,
murdered
he
him.
dies.
He
You murdered
comes
him.
back. He always
Yeah.
comes back.
You killed
He
your
comes
slave
back.
boy.
He comes
Yeah.
back.
You
I don't
killed
like
him.
that you said slave boy. He comes back.
I would like to point out that I am the only one here saying don't stomp on animals' heads, and Andrew and Todd are just trying to justify reasons why you can stomp on an animal head. I just need to point that out.
Well, I think Andrew is arguing we don't try to hurt our pets, but they are living creatures and get in the way sometimes, and things happen. Todd is a monster who is enslaving a sentient being, though,
That's
so
fair.
maybe don't listen to him.
My argument is balanced, as all should be.
I'm just saying, thing number one, Wigglers are adorable. Thing number two, Wigglers have the same temperament as any other animal and definitely don't get more angry, and it's fine. And thing number three, in Super Mario Odyssey, they're basically slinkies and make really cute noises when they get longer. Wigglers are the best pets, period, end of discussion.
Is that the one where they make the choo-choo train noise?
No, it's like an accordion.
Oh, okay. There's another one where they make a choo-choo train noise, which is pretty fun.
That's Sunshine.
Before we move on, Matt, I
Yes.
need a name for your pet Wiggler and an Instagram handle.
Oh God, a name and an Instagram handle.
I've started something.
They don't have to be good, but I
Yeah.
need them
Um,
for the
Wi-
papers.
Wiggle
for the
House
paperwork.
Wiggle House is an available name on Instagram.
I think that I would definitely name my Wiggler Sir Wigglesworth, and I think his Instagram handle would be Wigglesworth a million.
Excellent.
Good.
Wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
I love it. Moving on. Andrew, what animal are you taking home today from this magical pet store?
I'd like to introduce you guys to the chillest bro straight out of Yoshi's Island. This is my main man, Fuzzy. Fuzzy is the fucking best. If you've never heard of him before, he comes from the Touch Fuzzy Get Dizzy level in Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. They're white little cotton balls with beady little eyes that they just kind of float around and they hang out, all like chill and shit. And when Yoshi makes contact with one, things get real groovy. The music slows down. The background starts to change colors. The whole environment starts to ripple and wave. And Yoshi actually like can't like staggers and sways back and forth. He can't stand still.
Oh, so you're taking home a living, breathing like mushroom trip home
Yeah.
from the pet store today.
Basically.
Do you guys remember that cheesing episode of South Park where they just had cat spray in their face all the time?
Yep.
That's a lot like what Andrew sounds like right now.
That's what look, man. Fuzzy and I just like to hang out. You know,
Can I-
before what?
Uh,
Go ahead.
What? Okay, so I played this Mario game. What happens if you jump on Fuzzy's head or even just touch your pet? What happens?
The same thing happens regardless of how you touch Fuzzy. You get dizzy.
Well, no, but what happens to the pet itself? Does it like continue to stay around?
Yeah, he's
Does
just
it
kind of
puff-
like-
Does it puff out of existence and disappear forever?
No, he just kind of shifts. He dematerializes and materializes somewhere else.
Oh,
I
like
okay.
Lakitu. Got it.
Yeah, it
okay.
sounds a lot like Lakitu. I would
Alright.
also like to point out that you can't stomp on a Wiggler to kill it. So I'm in this for longevity, and I just need to keep bringing it back to that point.
I like that a bonus of your pet, Matt, is that you can't stomp on it and kill
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, great.
Like Andrew and Todd are just out here like stomping around.
How durable is your pet from stomping?
Matt walks into the rescue shelter with a big old pair of work boots, and he's just, I need to make a few adjustments.
Gross.
Before.
All
All right. Anyway,
So, I mean, that's always been the problem with cats and dogs is they die when you stomp on their heads
Right.
too. So,
Oh.
I don't like where this is going. Can we
Yep.
stop?
Can I hear what Andrew's stupid name and stupid Instagram account
let me
is?
tell you a little bit about Fuzzy and how we met. But before I met Fuzzy, I was so into the 9 to 5 rat race, trying to be a corporate shill and all that bullshit, getting worried about meeting deadlines and talking to Susan from HR about how Wednesday's only 2 days away from Friday. Fuck that. Hanging out with Fuzzy has really opened my eyes. Like, I know this is super cliche, but like I knew that fish existed, but I never really listened to them before I heard some of the bootlegs that Fuzzy brought over, you know?
Oh, that fish.
Oh.
I thought you just meant
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah,
No,
that
fish
was
with a
also
PH.
what I
No,
thought.
like fish
the
with a
jam
PH.
band fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I knew they had existed, but I never really got it. But
He
when
had,
I'm
heard fish, but he never really listened
heard,
to him.
yeah. But when I'm with Fuzzy, what started out with just being like a cool way to get fucked up, Fuzzy is really now showing me how beautiful the world really is.
Good.
So real quick, just to backpedal for a hot second, I want to revisit the time that you said that my pet was an intelligent animal and this seemed really inhumane to have it as a pet. And then you said that your pet, Fuzzy, brought over the album of the American rock band Fish for you to enjoy.
Well,
Am I getting all of that correct?
it's possible that could have been during a trip. I'm not entirely sure.
All right.
My memory's a little
one way
hazy.
or another, him and Fuzzy were on the couch and fish came on and
Yeah.
they had a good time.
Now I've got Andrew just talking to this non-intelligent thing going, this is good, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. He showed me the way.
I want you to know, Andrew, that we all went to college with a lot of people who talked about drugs the way you just talked about your pet. And that bothers me. I don't like that.
Yep. You can find us on Instagram at Fuzzed Up Beyond Repair 420.
Gross. Gross.
Got him.
That was too much for Matt. He broke Matt.
He died.
That's done.
I can't do fuzzed up. Fuzzed up got me. Oh, man. Oh, God. Okay.
You can
Oh,
also,
boy.
if you're into something different, you can see my own work on Tumblr at the Warrior Poet Steve.
Gross.
Good. One last question before we move on to the next question. How many Legalize It t-shirts did you own before and after
Legalize
Fuzzy
fuzz.
Legalize
came into your life?
0,4.
Good. All right. Moving on. Now we're assuming you've had your pet for a while and you've developed your daily routine with them. All animals, have their care. I wake up every morning and make sure Rigby's water fountain is full because he likes to drink running water, not still water, and I top off his food. So Todd, what do you do for Float House every day? What's your daily routine for Float House?
Rigby has a better life than I do. Even I drink like the water from the night before that I left on like the side of the bed.
Can we please unpack? He won't drink still water and only running water.
Hercules has not experienced running water to know what he's missing. Don't tell him.
Same with Oliver. Please don't.
It's really fine. Like you can buy these cat water fountains for pretty cheap, and they love them. But go on. We can talk about how you're mistreating your pets later.
It's fair. Well, here we are. So my never-ending life turtle boy, he's pretty self-sufficient. What with being able to move on a z-axis effortlessly, and fish and produce things from their cloud like Mary Poppins. But there still needs to be.
Todd, do you mean like fish or like pH fish?
No,
because that's a distinction we have to make now that Andrew took us there.
I will set it straight on the podcast now. I will never reference fish.
Okay, I have other problems with that, but we'll handle that later.
I don't foresee a need for me ever referencing fish with the pH. But the point here being, even though my Lakitu can, produce things out of their cloud like Mary Poppins, because that's what he does in all the games, there still needs to be some sort of upkeep so that, he doesn't get restless. And because of that, we are strictly working upper body 3 to 4 times a week with bench press, upright rows, lat pull down, and the likes. Because to lift fish and cameras and carts and more, you got to keep those guns locked and loaded. Lakitu only needs upper body strength, and that is it. There is no day is leg day for Lakitu. So just lifting weights all the time and only upper body glam muscles is what we're going for.
I'm not sure you can call a being that understands how to do a full upper body workout a pet. But
yeah,
okay,
we're still going back to you have a nearsighted slave boy.
Yeah, Todd, you stumbled into slavery at the last question, and I'm starting to believe it was more intentional, and that's feeling away.
All right, so we are now running parallel with like Machamp. That's what we're going for.
I mean, we've also leaned pretty heavily into the ethical complications of Pokemon, so I'm
sticking with my parallel because this one makes me feel better than the one that you had.
Okay.
So it is about as ethical as owning what was the floating rock with the arms?
A Geodude?
Geodude. I was gonna say Geo and I forgot the dude part. So yeah, it's like a Geodude. He's just lifting curls because curls get girls. With Lakitu.
Okay, that was awful. That's no. We're in the Mario universe. First off, Pokemon don't exist, so this is really just you force your pet to work out daily. Correct?
Lakitu likes it.
Okay.
Oh, does he tell you that? Does he tell you that with his human mouth?
He writes it down on the pad and paper that he used in Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, and he tells me.
By the way, listeners, you can buy a Lakitu Curls Get Girls t-shirt at our non-existent Debate This merch shop.
That's so good.
Matt, save Todd from himself and tell us your daily care routine for your Wiggler.
For my actual animal? My actual animal that you can have as a pet that isn't a person or bag of drugs? Sure, I'd love to. Wiggler is basically a caterpillar. He's a big caterpillar. He's a caterpillar the size of a dog. I acknowledge that, but he's a caterpillar. So, I'm going to let him outside. He's going to hang out in the backyard. He's going to eat some grass. We're going to keep him nice and watered. He's going to enjoy the sunshine. He's got that cute little flower on his head, and we're going to prune that and make sure it stays nice and healthy like you do with any sort of plant or animal, because my pet is actually an animal and not a person or a bag of drugs. So...
Did I once say bag of drugs?
Did I say person? Anthropomorphic turtle, maybe. Person, no.
Okay, so would you call the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles people? Because...
No, I'd call them Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well,
Heroes in a half shell, turtle power.
Are they in the anthropomorphic turtle part, or are they in the people part?
Are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles owned by people?
No. All the answers are no to this.
Anyway, all right. We've gone off the rails. This question is taking us
Very
off the
far
rails.
off the rails.
Let's bring it back to the care routine of my pet Wiggler. So, we saw in Super Mario Odyssey that Wigglers are basically accordion shaped, which is amazing and cool and adorable. So, I'm sure that there's going to be some daily to weekly stretching routines for the Wiggler, but that's not like unhealthy workout. That's like goat yoga. We're going to have Wiggler yoga, just like goat yoga. It's going to be huge on Instagram. Mr. Wigglesworth a million. It's going to be a huge thing. It's going to take off. That's how my pet has Instagram presence. Listen, we're doing this the whole way. My pet is going to stretch with me. We're going to leave him outside. We're going to feed him. We're going to water him. We're going to keep him clean. And he's going to be treated like an animal because he is an animal and not an anthropomorphic turtle or a thing that has the same effects as a bag of drugs and also maybe eyes.
Thank you.
Is Andrew's pet cotton candy acid? Is that what it is?
It might be.
Cotton candy acid feels really good. Yeah, that sounds right. I would also like to retroactively say I've never had cotton candy acid. That part where I said it feels really good. That was not what I meant.
It was more figurative than literal. So Andrew, what do you and Fuzzy do every day to help take care of him?
Yeah, so as you can imagine, because Fuzzy is basically a giant floating ball of cotton. Oh, did I tell you his name? It's Cottonmouth.
Oh, you didn't.
Oh,
It's cute.
But that doesn't help.
Is it Cottonmouth Joe?
No, it's Cottonmouth. Just
Okay.
Cottonmouth.
Just
All right.
Cottonmouth.
that's
Because but I'm gonna continue to call him Fuzzy because I think it's like Pokemon rules where every Fuzzy is just Fuzzy.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
So we are crossing the universes.
Only
they're
in my
Pokemon.
argument.
It's okay. Keep going.
So as you would imagine, Fuzzy needs a lot of grooming. Fuzzy's fur, hair, fluff gets tangled and matted pretty easily. So it's always good to have a quality slicker brush on hand. That's the one that the brush goes like, it kind of looks like a big razor. It dips in and it's got like a flat head with a lot of little mini bristles.
Okay.
It's used for detangling.
Okay.
And then for the really deep tangles, I also have a steel Greyhound comb at the ready. So I get out all my stuff at around 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I put on some BoJack to give Fuzzy something to watch. I take the slicker brush, and I get 2 of the 3 most glaring tangles. And then I take a break to get some water because my mouth feels real dry. And then I grab a handful of Doritos from the bag lying on the counter that I forgot to throw away last night. And then I remember that I had some pizza rolls sitting on a plate in the microwave that I then nuke for a minute and head back to do more brushing. So then I scratch under where Fuzzy's left ear would be if he weren't just a floating cotton ball without features. And this will distract him while I detangle his underside. And around that is usually the point where the sky outside starts to turn from blue to a deep purple color and the wallpaper starts to bleed.
There it is.
Yep.
Once I've got all the surface level tangles, I then switch to the steel comb as I remember how it felt to be a baby and get a little sad realizing that we never truly are as blissfully happy as when we were babies, completely enthralled by even the most mundane sounds and pictures. But then as my soul floats seamlessly through the eyeball forest, I see my soulmate Fuzzy appear to me as the image of Odin atop a blazing steed. He offers his hand and I take it, and we ride on an electric rainbow into the golden sunset as the eyeball forest melts away behind me.
I really loved that. I could really feel the care you put into Fuzzy through that description.
Yeah. Well,
the only
hold on.
question
I'm not done.
Oh,
Oh,
you're not done.
no.
He's gonna tell us about the part where he
then-
wakes up and he's choking on his tongue.
And then I wake up, actually. And then I wake up at about 8 or 9 to tell Netflix I'm still watching. Oh, shit, the pizza rolls are cold. 1 more minute should do it. That's
End
Good.
scene.
and see.
And how do you keep the Dorito dust off of Fuzzy while you're grooming him?
Ooh.
That's
Yeah, good question.
Excellent
That's
point.
important.
Weekly
The-
baths.
what the listeners are really wanting to know.
Yes.
Weekly baths.
Okay.
But I have to so to avoid direct contact, I take the hose from the sink and just shoot it onto shower mode and just kind of get at him, and then he like shakes around like a dog.
Okay.
I feel
like
like Fuzzy is, remember the fad where you could have the helium inflated like sharks that were remote control that would just like float into a room very slowly.
Yes.
I feel like that's what Fuzzy is. Like you're just gonna turn around, it's gonna be behind you, you're gonna be like, Jesus Christ! Oh God. Oh, Fuzzy.
The worst part is when you accidentally bump into him like that,
it
and all of a
instantly
sudden
high.
you're on a 6-hour high, and all your plans are out the window.
God damn it, Fuzzy! It is 2 p.m. on Sunday.
I have things to do.
So kind of what Andrew said earlier when you're talking about the accidental times you've tripped over a cat or a dog, like you're leaving for work and you're late, like, oh, I gotta go, and you round the corner and smack straight into Fuzzy. No.
You immediately call your boss. You're like, oh, I'm not feeling well today. And you realize you never press call.
There it is.
There it is. All right. So moving on from your care habits, we're now going to get into accessories. So you've had your new Mushroom Kingdom pets for a while, but they're getting a little restless, a little antsy in your houses, apartments, whatever. So what kind of toys, furniture, general accessories do you get? Not unlike Rigby and his water fountain that I have, to keep your newfound friend happy and to work off some of that extra energy they have.
So since my guy is a floaty boy, he doesn't need walkies or scratching posts or anything like that. What he does need is more floating, right? So since we've now canonized that he is kind of intelligent, I'm just going to go with that. And what I've done is I have filled a large portion of the house with oscillating fans that are set up to challenge my Lakitu's ability to navigate through them in the gale force winds that they blow like a helicopter drone obstacle course, right? So that makes sense.
How tall is your house in this scenario?
It's large, and Shannon and I don't live in much of it. It's really my habit of...
It's like 9 bedrooms, but they only use 2, and the rest are this fan obstacle.
Todd,
Well,
why have
one
you moved
bedroom-
us to this airplane hangar?
One bedroom is ours. The other bedroom is where we record the podcast. So, anyway, I've created this very intricate obstacle course for Lakitu, because that's what he needs. And I think through that, he will learn how to adapt and grow stronger through the trials of the fan maze until he becomes the strongest air elemental you've ever met. That's how this works? I think that's how this works. That's how this works.
What? I have a question.
Yeah.
What happens if he
I have a lot of
loses the-
questions.
What
but-
happens if the cloud goes away? Like if
No, he spawns a new one. He just has to like lay down and take a nap for a while. He has little baby legs though. I think it's like the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool cut where if he doesn't have the cloud, he's just walking around with toddler legs.
it's like
even
part,
though
he's like
very,
part 2 of Wall-E.
yeah, he is very, very, very bulky. Top heavy. But yeah, it just goes away for a while and it comes back.
Okay.
I mean, what's the logic of touching Fuzzy and then it disappears? That's the same logic with the cloud.
That's why I'm done.
Uh-huh.
All right, Matt, what do you have for Wiggler so he feels more at home and can work off some of his extra energy?
Okay, yeah, sure. So obviously extra energy and extra emotion, could be maybe sort of a little bit of possibly a problem with a Wiggler if they get too angry or something. I don't know. I don't want to, postulate anything. But in case my Wiggler, say, just wants to run really fast in a straight line as hard as he can for a little while.
Say he does.
For whatever reason.
It's always ideal to be able to take Mr. Wigglesworth outside. But I also understand that, the climate and the weather, and he's a caterpillar and all that. So if I could direct all of you to www.onefastcat.com, I think that you will see exactly what I'm going to get my Wiggler. And that would be one of those cool, fancy cat treadmills that is a giant circle. And we're just going to put Mr. Wigglesworth on there, bop him on the head, and let him run for a little while.
I feel like you go ahead. You ask.
No, well, wouldn't a treadmill for a cat be a little small for a giant?
That's what I want to know.
caterpillar?
It's just a hamster wheel. It's just a big hamster wheel.
Yeah, like I want to agree with you and say like, oh yeah, I know these cat things are too small, but have you ever seen one of these things? They make them really big.
I'm also realizing something with your description that if you like bop squiggler on the head, then
No,
it's
Squiggler's
going
the
to,
baby one. It's Mr. Wigglesworth.
Wiggler,
Wigglesworth.
Mr. Wigglesworth.
Mr. Wigglesworth.
If you give him a little pet, a little bop on the head, he's gonna freak out and start booking it.
Yeah.
If you like touch Andrews at all, it just disappears.
You're gonna freak out.
I'm throwing high fives and arm wrestling with mine, and like I'm just saying I can show physical affection to my pet. And
Oh, I can
that's
show
a shame.
physical affection to Mr. Wigglesworth.
You mean your sentient friend? Yes.
Yeah.
You can show physical affection to your friend who needs corrective lenses.
Just because we can play Words with Friends together doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you give him a fist bump after your meeting for the Boys and Girls Club. But
It's fine.
yeah, no, you can show plenty of physical affection to Mr. Wigglesworth. You just can't hit him on the head. But if he wants to run, he wants to run. I'm not saying we have to hit him on the head, but maybe sometimes if it happens occasionally, I'm sure that he would blow off some steam.
As long as you can pick him up and run to the cat wheel like you carry a vomiting cat to the hardwood floors. Like,
Get on the linoleum.
that's exactly how this works.
Except that he's like lava hot and you can't touch him.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
You know, I don't think he's lava hot in every game. I
He's
think
like
that was like a one-time
steaming.
thing.
He looks like a tea kettle.
Matt just keeps a lot of oven mitts around the house just in case. Like
I
he's
just
prepared.
always have gloves in my back pocket.
He's a responsible pet owner. All right, so just the one cat treadmill for your.
It's a big cat treadmill.
It
I
is a
think.
big cat treadmill. Listen, Todd, you set up a fan obstacle course. Don't talk to me about big treadmills.
I think I was agreeing. I was supporting your big cat treadmill.
Now, I have one more point. If I know anything about Wiggler physiology, it's that the Wiggler is going to continue to extend until his face hits his butt on the wheel. So it's just going to be like his face is going to be chasing his butt.
Wiggler doesn't grow larger.
It's not Mr. Fantastic. They can only extend so far.
Yeah, they grow. That's what they do in Odyssey. That's the one you're citing, right? The tropical.
Yeah,
the
they
fruit leaf
expand.
caterpillar?
They expand, but they don't expand infinitely. I just need a big enough wheel.
Don't we all?
That's really all we need. All right. Anyway,
So Andrew, what do you have around for Fuzzy to do to keep him entertained besides Fish's discography?
yeah, I mean we've got a lot of BoJack Horseman DVDs. The thing about Fuzzy is that he really does, and he's a chill bro. He doesn't really like to do a whole lot. He just kind of floats around. So really, when it kind of came down to it, the person who needed to get out was me. And,
Oh, okay.
And I realized that waking up the crack of noon the other day as I was covered in the greasy remains of pepperoni rolls and Cheeto dust. And as I saw the trash piling up and the stack of empty pizza boxes stashed in the corner, I realized for the first time in a long time that I hadn't seen the sun in quite some time. I had forgotten what month it was and soon realized that I had missed an entire season. So it was I that looked over Fuzzy, whose eyes were still bloodshot, and told him, "We gotta go outside, bud."
Wait, does Fuzzy get high on his own supply? Does Fuzzy get high off of himself?
So
does.
he's just high all the time.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like when your dealer comes and smokes you out. You know what I mean? Like you gotta do a little bit. Like the dealer's always going to take a little bit from the stash. He's going to take a little bit off the top.
Fuzzy's not the dealer. Fuzzy is the drug.
He is
That's
both
what,
the
like-
dealer and the drug.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, you don't meet a dealer and he cuts off a piece of his finger and gives it to you for later. Like,
No, because
my God.
because he's a sentient being and not a pet, Matt. That would be very silly.
I just your pet is not the dealer and the drug. He's just the drug, man.
Well, that's just your opinion.
Andrew is the expert here.
Yeah. So what I had a very harsh realization as we walked outside. My eyes were burning. The grease in my hair soon turned to a cold sweat. I had tied a little string around Fuzzy. I grabbed some like rubber dishwashing gloves, and tied a little string around Fuzzy, and I held it like he was a helium balloon. It was very cute. And then he started kind of like tugging, like he was pulling me. and he went toward a little girl, and I was like, "Oh, that's cute. The little girl wants to pet him." Oh no!
Oh no!
so I was like totally cool, and then all of a sudden it was like, "No, stop!" And then a fountain of vomit preceded that scream. Oh God, I need a salad. Oh God, I need a shower. So 3 months later, I've decided to change our relationship. I've built a nice little a little glass partition. I've given Fuzzy his own room, and I've built in a little glass partition there, a little sliding door. He's like a bubble boy, basically. I can open the sliding door and give him his food. There's little gloves there attached to the station. I can give him some pets and some scratches. I can't really detangle him as much as I used to, but that's okay. He understands.
Andrew and Fuzzy now only hang out at night once Andrew's finished everything he needs to for the day.
So we don't hang out too often. Every so once in a while when a friend comes over, I'll let Fuzzy out. Maybe when the wife is gone for a long weekend.
Things need to get wild.
Yeah, but maybe if there's the occasional bachelor party, Fuzzy will come along. But gotta be responsible.
Okay, well, I've got some things to think about. But we do actually have I've got one more question for you guys. Our super secret bonus question. But we'll get to that after we take a short break and hear from some friends of the show.
Love craft beer? Into vinyl record collecting? Love to create and record music? You'll love Craft and Vinyl, a craft beer pub, vinyl record shop, and a music recording studio, all under one roof. Enjoy a cold beer while browsing the vinyl record shop or cut a song in the recording studio. Craft and Vinyl. It's a crazy hop sonic adventure. Great beer, great music, and great friends. Craft and Vinyl, 1806 West 5th Avenue, Grandview, 614-706-4879. Craft and Vinyl. You belong here.
All right, welcome back. It is now time for our super secret bonus question. Guys, are you ready?
Oh yes,
Born ready.
Let's do it.
Oh, we both
wow.
made that.
We said that at
man.
the same time.
Oh,
All right. So your new Mushroom Kingdom pet has become quite popular, and it's been chosen to have a new dog show style event held to showcase their unique qualities. What sort of events? You've obviously been chosen to help pick the events in this show as the social media influencers you and your pets have become. So what sort of events will your pet show have, and why will it be the most popular TV event the weekend it airs?
so if we're talking about what is going to be the best event for my pet at this strange pet Olympics, probably complex arithmetic.
What?
No, because he's smart.
Got it.
So anyway, we're here now. In this strange pet show. So the event that I guess my floaty boy will be looking for is Old Float House is going to be a ringer, and specifically excel in the pet version of the shot put. And so his form, his bulky arms, and his ability to float will make him a dead ringer. Just don't test him for performance-enhancing drugs.
Wow, so you're giving your pet steroids now?
Wait,
Cool.
I said don't test him. That would be a waste of your test, man.
I'm not testing him. I'm asking you.
How does floating help you in the shot put?
Well, you would be staying within your circle, and you could just go higher and higher and higher.
Todd, I threw shot put, and a large part of that is like the force you push off the ground with, and like
Have you seen how level Lakitu stays in every game? At least the original games he's from.
But he's got no leverage.
He has nothing to push off of.
He stays floating exactly horizontal as he's throwing spikies at you. Never moving, never flinching.
Have you ever tried to play baseball in a chair? It's really hard.
No, I've not tried to play baseball in a chair.
Have you ever tried to pitch?
We'll delve into Andrew playing baseball in a chair later.
Who are you?
Those spikies don't go far, Todd. Those pretty much fall straight down onto the ground.
Well, and they still have a
shot
little
put is a distance
couple
event.
things. Still have a little bit of arc. You go up high enough, that becomes a lot of bit of arc.
Okay.
Also, we're talking about the weight of what? What is Olympic shot puts? Like 50 pounds? We're talking about that.
No, it's 18.
Oh, whatever. Who knows?
Welcome back to another
Who knows
episode of
weights?
Todd Doesn't Know Science. It's a podcast
And,
within a podcast.
It's fine. So 18 pounds is called that. Lakitu literally hauls go-karts out of ravines. Is like, there you go. So yeah, he can probably throw an 18-pound shot put just fine. Man, I can't wait to hear your airtight options.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 16. 16 pounds. That's
Oh,
my
that makes
bad.
even 2 pounds additional force coming at you because he won't need it to move that.
Good, Todd.
All right.
That's how physics
And he
works.
sticks the landing.
Matt, tell us what the Wiggler show has and how they showcase Wigglers. Please. Help me forget everything Todd just said.
I would love to, but I'm not sure we can call it the Wiggler Show. I think that either Nickelodeon or Disney, whoever ran that show, is going to have a little bit of a copyright issue with that. But
That was the Wiggles. They're fine. It's two completely different
It's
things.
one consonant changes 2 shows drastically.
got it. Noted. Anyway, so the Yukonuba tournament of Wigglers is going to look exactly like this. First off, people are going to tune in for the judging of length and color. You know, we've got to get a beauty aspect into all of this. And when it comes to Wigglers, boys, size does matter. So there is going to be a hard and firm judging of length and color when it comes to the Yukonuba tournament
Matt, please
of
stop.
Wigglers.
I can only get so
I-
erect.
Wait,
Matt, I don't
he hasn't
appreciate
he hasn't said the secret
string
word
of
yet. I'm
penis
waiting.
euphemisms you just threw at us. But go on.
So that's thing number one. Thing number two, of course, there's going to be some sort of agility aspect when it comes to the Wigglers. Now, I would like for you to picture the very first stage of all the American Ninja Warrior courses where they have to like springboard back and forth across the pond. I'm imagining a lot of things like that, but they'll probably be shaped like the mushrooms from the original Mario, and Wigglers will just have to extend and slink through obstacle courses following their owners on the ground. And whoever does it fastest will win points in the Yukonuba tournament of Wigglers. But what's going to bring the ratings in, Kyle? What's really going to put this on the table as the most viewed event on TV the weekend of like December 8th is going to be the exact same thing that brings the ratings in for the Olympics, and that is going to be the Wiggler accordion opening ceremonies.
Please describe these ceremonies, because
So I would love
I have a lot
to.
of different images running through my head right now.
Yeah, of course. You know, we've already established that Wigglers make those cute little accordion noises. When they extend, the pitch of the note changes. So obviously, we can play a whole 8-note octave with a Wiggler. And I'm sure that different Wigglers will have different intonation. And we're going to get a whole bunch of Wigglers together, and we are going to choreograph an amazingly colorful Wiggler dance and ballet show, the same crazy shit they do for the Olympic opening ceremonies, and it's all going to be set to the music of a Wiggler accordion orchestra, the same way there are those orchestral bullfrogs in Harry Potter. Wiggler opening ceremonies, making a lot of ratings. That's how we get it done.
That was quite the journey.
I gotta say, Matt, I think that, so for me, I was really behind you on the very first event, but you didn't complete the gross word bingo chart that I have in front of me because you didn't say girth.
Moist. Oh, girth. I'm sorry. I thought
Moist
you wanted
was
moist.
the free space.
Yeah, moist
Yeah.
was the free space. You got that one. That just, you get it.
I will acknowledge that I left girth off the table, and if I could retroactively go back and change that, I would.
I don't
But
want
I
you
can't.
to.
Nope, we can leave that there. It sounds very interesting. I'm very intrigued by the idea of a Wiggler chorus.
Would you say that?
sounds-
Oh, I was gonna say, would you say you're aroused by the idea?
Nope. I wouldn't
Are
say
you-
that.
Wait,
I wouldn't
Kyle,
say
would
that
you
at
say?
all.
I don't know if you heard my joke. Would you say you're aroused by the
Stop
idea?
it. Stop.
I love picturing Matt trying to pitch this idea to the Yukonuba committee, and he's basically frothing at the mouth. It's like, so we get a bunch of wigglers, and they're gonna be of different shapes and sizes, and like all this different sounds are gonna be like.
That is exactly how I imagine my pitch would go if I bumped into a fuzzy on the way there.
Fair enough.
Speaking of, Andrew,
Let's talk about Fuzzy.
Please pitch us the fuzzy show, the fuzzy contest,
Right.
if you will.
So the interesting thing about the Fuzzy contest is it will probably only be relevant to a certain niche audience. To the casual observer, it will, if you tune into the Fuzzy, I don't know, we'll call it the Fuzzy competition, it will look basically just like a lava lamp with just shapes, floating colors and shapes on a TV
Fuzzies
screen.
rising and falling.
Yeah. But with Fuzzy in the room, it's the greatest TV show you've ever seen.
Oh, okay. So it's only it is a show for fuzzy owners by fuzzy owners.
Yep, it's
is what
Aqua Teen
you're-
Hunger Force.
There it
Gotcha.
is. All right.
Okay.
I mean-
all right.
I really like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, so I'm in.
I'm drawing the line in the sand. There it is.
So what sort of events will take place? What sort of things will you enjoy with your fuzzy while they're on TV?
Sure. So talking about stuff, eating Doritos,
Okay. Okay.
talking
Competitive Dorito eating.
talking about more stuff, and then forgetting what you were talking about.
Okay.
And then my favorite event. Look at that thing over there.
Sounds kind of like hanging out in the house I lived at in college. Sounds a lot like that. But I did enjoy hanging out in the house I lived at in college. So
Yeah.
All right.
I got one more.
I'm in.
I got one more.
I'm back on board. Okay.
Best beanbag chair.
Mm.
Wow.
That's the closer.
That's the closer.
Because they know everyone will wait around. They'll sit through all the ads the whole day to get to best beanbag chair at the end of the event.
Keeps the butts in the seats. That one does.
It does. It do. It do.
All right. Good job. So let's go into final thoughts. In a short statement. I won't be as restrictive as past moderators and limit you to a word count. In a short statement, sum up why your pet is the best pet.
Floating cloud for you to ride on. Big beefy arms. Kinda looks like Millhouse.
Gross. Matt.
Yeah, I would like to quote prolific American philosophers Sky Blue and Red Foo from their influential writings, I'm Sexy and I Know It, and say, wiggle, 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 yeah, do the wiggle, man, I do the wiggle, man.
We got it.
Andrew.
Drugs. 420 blaze it.
Legalize fuzz.
Legalize fuzz.
Legalize
Legalize
fuzz.
fuzz.
Buzzed up,
All
buzzed
right.
up beyond repair.
Okay. Nope. Stop. We're done. So while I've you guys have given me a lot to think about, I'm gonna go out and adopt one of these pets myself. So while I think about everything you've said today, decide which pet I'm going to adopt. Why don't you guys say some good things about each other's options?
Yeah, Matt, you had a really good one.
Hey, thanks.
Because I especially think there's two cool applications of this. Either you've got small squigglers that are just these like adorable little caricature centipedes with boots on that are like stomping around looking all cute, or you got a big wiggler that you can like ride on as long as you don't bop it too hard on the head. I'm pretty sure they could also climb on walls.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of neat utility for your wiggler depending on the size, but the reality that you could have, instead of a Game of Thrones dragon, you've got a wiggler that you like ride off to school or to work in. Like, that's pretty cool. I thought that was a good choice. I was glad you picked it. And Andrew, I liked the game that you picked yours from. If you would have said, okay, the goal of this episode is to find a Mario enemy that is also kind of drugs, You would have landed squarely in the center of that bullseye, and I think it would have been really good. You had fun here, and I think that's what matters.
I have one more thing to add. According to the Mario Wiki and the Nintendo Power of some episode or edition of Nintendo Power, Fuzzy is the sole member of the Dude I'm freaking out on this enemy type.
Stop.
What is that real?
That is a thing. That is a thing that Nintendo Power printed with their human fingers.
Oh my goodness.
Man, we need to do a Nintendo Power appreciation episode one of these days because
Hell yeah.
Nintendo Power was wild.
Dude, if we
Nintendo
could
Power
get
was wild.
anybody
Nice.
from the Nintendo Power podcast on this podcast, it would change my life forever.
There's a Nintendo Power podcast?
Yeah, it's like that's what the magazine is now. It's a podcast.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
The old
yeah.
editor in chief. Well, I think this one of their. It's like their PR team. I think.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll go. Yeah, Todd. They say that dog is man's best friend, and you picked actually something that could be your best friend, and for that I commend you. I think its sentience may be a downfall when you try to explain to someone that it's a pet, but that's really cool that you have a new person to hang out with, and I'm happy for you.
You made a friend.
Yeah, you made a friend today, and that's pretty cool.
I went to a store and made a friend.
Yeah. I also got to give you a lot of credit that, like, you didn't fall into the possible dogfighting trope that Pokemon falls into, because you said, I'm going to get my Lakitu hella buff, and then you said it was to throw a thing and not to hit other Lakitu.
No.
And that was a really dangerous trap that I thought you were going to fall into, so good for you. Andrew, man, drugs. Drugs are a hell of a drug, man.
They sure are.
Yeah, I also, when I was like, I searched Mario enemies, and one of the first things to pop up was like 10 best Mario enemies, and on there was Fuzzy from Touch Fuzzy,
always.
Get Dizzy. And I thought, man, that's a really awesome Mario enemy that could absolutely never be a pet. And you gave it a reason to be a pet, and good for you. Good
Not
for
a good
you.
one, but it exists.
It's a reason, and just like Hoobastank, you found a reason.
Nice.
Thanks.
Oh.
Hey Todd,
Yeah.
I think we can both safely say that Matt won this one.
Matt did it. Matt brought a good one.
I'm gonna say that.
I'm trying to secure my spot on second by pushing you down third.
That's fair. So let's talk about Wiggler real quick, because Wiggler is the best. I fucking love Wiggler. Like, he's such a good design, and it keeps getting better. And the first thing I thought of when I wanted to pick this one was like, oh, I should do the cool Spree caterpillar from Odyssey, not realizing that was just a tropical Wiggler.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's
so
Alone
that
in
was-
Wiggler.
I was like, oh man, yeah, it's a lowland Wiggler. Yeah. So that was like, oh man. I love Touch Fuzzy Get Dizzy. I think that's like the coolest mechanic. So I just really wanted to represent that. Speaking of other things that I love that are fun mechanics, is Lakitu.
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
howdy, Lakitu is a fun Mario enemy when you get to murder him and steal his cloud. Because you're super straight up murdering him. But I love the
Not borrowing his cloud for a short period of time.
I love the imagery. It's so vivid of this Lakitu just like floating around in this like by hitting all these different fans. Like this this like weird miniature golf obstacle course that you set up.
I'm envisioning. Have you seen where like a group of like engineering students will set up
It's the
fans
drone
and,
stuff.
Yeah.
and have the plane like fly
Oh, yeah, that-
held up entirely by the
Yeah.
fans. That's what I envisioned when you described your obstacle
Yeah,
course.
that's not
but
far off.
I imagine that there is both a obstacle course setup and then a lazy river setup where your Lakitu can just drift around in a circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both good options.
The thing that I cannot get past is Lakitu. I've always thought looks a lot like Arthur, like from the kids book,
Yeah.
and who is also very much not a pet and very much a small boy, which is just
fair.
It's really hard to get past that, but good imagery from both of you. That was fun.
Can I ask a question real quick to the brain trust then? Okay, so other enemies. Obviously, I think Shy Guy is too sentient to be a pet.
Yeah.
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 Where do Koopa Troopas land?
Solidly pets.
Yes.
So
Like,
that one's
those
hard
are
because
turtles.
you could argue that Lakitu, because I was also thinking about doing Chargin Chuck, the football playing.
Totally not a pet.
Well,
Yeah.
but like it puts on.
Let's hear it.
It
Put
puts
me
on
higher
football.
up on my second
it
place
has
pedal.
football training. They kick field goals. Like they're not just like turtles wearing football helmets. Like they actually
Chargin
kick
Chuck is
field
not
goals.
is not a straight up Koopa Troopa.
But they are though. That's the thing. Like when you
No,
take
he is way more advanced. He is evolved Koopa Troopa.
So and that's what I'm saying is you could make the argument that Liquidu is too. Like they come from Koopa Troopa genealogy. So where does the line stop between
Okay, so-
sentience and non-sentience?
So Koopa Troopa, yes, he's in the Koopa Troopa. What about Chargin Chuck? No.
Yeah.
Where do Hammer Brothers
Where's
land?
the
I think
missing
that's a
link?
no.
Where's the missing
Okay,
link?
so when I thought this question, the things I thought of were like Goombas, Buzzy Beetles, Dry Bones, things that
A cheap
boss.
The cow
big
that
boss
is also a
fish.
fish from Super Mario Land 2. Yep.
Yeah. Things that just kind of go back and forth, and like I think that I know that what I just said toes the line with Wiggler, but in the original games they just kind of go back and forth. There's the chase aspect, but that's just like chasing a thing. That's not direct sentience.
I know the missing link. I found it. Andrew, it's from the game where you got your character. It is Hookbill, that large turtle that you have to hit in the head 3 times to like knock it over and stomp on its back. That is the missing link.
Got it. Yep. That tracks.
Well, this is a good episode of which sentient Mario creature could you own?
All right. So I really appreciate you guys saying some nice things about each other. Can I tell you about my trip to Shut Up Todd Pet Store?
I would love to hear about it. Yeah.
They have
All right.
They have great Memorial Day sales.
They do. That's why we went this weekend. So I went to the Shut Up Todd Pet Store in Mushroom Kingdom. I love that name. I don't want to stop saying it. Plus they're kicking us a little sponsorship.
They are sponsors this episode.
The more times I name drop it. So everyone go to Shut Up Todd Pet Store in Mushroom Kingdom. So I went in and I told the guy up front I was looking for a pet, but I wanted to just kind of check some out. So I walked around, was looking at in the kennels, in some of the terrariums and stuff, and I was first approached by this white guy with dreadlocks. And,
it's never a good sign.
He started to. We were in front of a kennel with a fuzzy in it, and he started to tell me how much he loves his fuzzy. They stay up all night and watch Rick and Morty together. And,
Was it Post Malone? Did you meet Post Malone?
I didn't get his name. He didn't have his name tag on. His uniform was untucked and a little dirty. But I wasn't feeling it, so I kept going. And I was then approached by this very, very bulky guy. He was really, really red-faced and kind of puffy. And he took me to this weird back room where he showed me his Lakadu sparring gym. And
it's just a lot of punching back there. Watch out,
guys. It didn't look good. I reported him to his manager because it was really bad back there. There was some blood on the ground. The Lakadus did not look happy. So I passed on that. But what really sold me was I kept looking. I didn't check out then like I probably should have. But let me tell you guys, today I took home a very nice little squiggler.
Yeah,
a baby wiggler. His name is First Mate Wiggles, and we're best friends.
Yeah, that's the best. I'm happy for you and your squiggle buddy.
Yeah, we're great. I'm waiting to get the giant cat exercise wheel for him until he's a little bigger. He's got enough room right now to run around our apartment.
You better hope that they don't see you leaving with that squiggler, or all those floating Lakitus are gonna go punch-size you.
So yeah, me and First Mate Wiggles are best friends, and that's our show. Thanks everyone for listening to Debate This. Matt's our winner, by the way. Matt's testimony was what sold me. So thanks for listening. You can follow along with the argument on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at DebateThisCast, and check out our website at debatethiscast.com. If you like what you hear, please leave us a review so more people can hear our nerdy, dumb show. Until next time, I'm Kyle. My new best friend is First Mate Wiggles Harper.
I'm Todd, never-ending life turtle Thomas.
I'm Matt, because you know what to do with that big fat butt. Wiggle, 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 Cole.
And I'm Andrew, which fish is fish, Henderson.
We're saying thanks for debating with us. And if you think we're wrong, then you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.